Alrighty, hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Cryptic Coil, and in today's video I have another book haul. Now, I have slowed down on buying books, but I ended up going thrifting today, and I just hit like the jackpot. Like, I got like a lot of really good stuff today, and I was like, this is too good not to share with you guys. I also got something for free from a coworker, and I did go thrift shopping like a week or two ago, and the books that I found to like a week or two ago, they were really good, so I set them to the side just in case. I ended up making another book haul video, and so I'm actually combining today's finds with what I got for free from work, and what I found like a week or two ago. All right, so before I get started, I did buy a new cologne today, and I bought this from TJ Maxx, and it's called Valencia Uomo Intense. Now, Valencia Uomo Intense is a cologne fragrance of my all-time favorite cologne, Valentino Uomo Intense. Do you see the resemblance in the bottle? I mean, they were definitely going for a similar vibe in the bottle, the Valencia, but they both look different at the same time, but they have the same name, Uomo Intense. Now, Uomo is Italian for men or man. Now, as soon as I walked out of the store, I just started hitting the trigger on this thing. And it does smell good. It does have a pretty obvious resemblance to Valentino Uomo Intense, but just in my one wearing of it this evening, I can tell you that the reason it costs $14.99 is because of the performance. And even though there is a resemblance in the scent to Valentino Uomo Intense, the the ingredients are nowhere near as high quality at all. Some of you guys might have been around and gotten to experience the Armaf fragrance, Futura L'Homme, and that was supposed to be a knockoff of, or not a knockoff, a clone of Dior Homme, but it was kind of a mashup between Dior Homme and Dior Homme Intense. And it was actually very well done, very high quality. But reviewed it back in the day on my old channel, and I said that even though I really liked it and it definitely fit in with that family of fragrances in the Dior Homme line, it had something that was really sharp, and I always hesitate to use the word synthetic, but there was something sharp and synthetic in that. Well, that same sharpness and syntheticness from the Armaf Futura L'Homme, I find in this Valentino Uomo Intense, and I think I figured it out. I think that what it is that iris is a very expensive ingredient to put in perfumery, and I think they're using a synthetic iris, and I think that that's why I get this like sharp synthetic kind of vibe out of the scent. It's not bad, but just in one wearing of this, I can tell you that this isn't something that I'm ever gonna replace. I could see myself killing this bottle. I think that it's great for like a high school boy to wear on date nights, but just because I know Valentino Uomo Intense and Dior Homme Intense so well, I just the difference in quality and performance just kind of make me think, yeah, I didn't really need this, but I'm glad I have it, and I'm glad I got to experience it. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the book haul portion of the video. So this book haul is going to be very heavy on the middle grade, very light on the YA, and pretty heavy on the adult. Okay, so let me have a sip of my drink. Thirsty. All right, and let's go ahead and jump into it. I do have a couple of DVDs that I want to show you first. I found these at a thrift store called Savers. And the first one I got is an episode of Goosebumps, The Ghost Next Door. And I think I'm actually going to watch these tonight for my old school April watching prompts. And then I got this one, R.L. Stein Goosebumps Scary House. I don't know of a Goosebumps book called Scary House. For a minute there, I thought, wait a minute, is this the episode of Welcome to Dead House? Did they name it Scary House because they can't say dead in a children's DVD? Like, I started to think along those lines, but no, this has a very different kind of story. So I look forward to watching it and finding out what it's all about. All right. You know what? I'm not going to watch The Ghost Next Door. I'm going to read it first. Okay, then I'll watch the episode. I'll watch Scary House. All right, then I got one more DVD, and it's brand new in the cellophane. Found it at Savers. And this is a horror movie called Black Pumpkin Trick or Treat. Or Black Pumpkin, I guess Trick or Treat is the tagline on the DVD cover. But this stars comedian Matt Rife, and then someone named Ellie Patricios and Grayson Thorne Kilpatrick, but that's what the cover looks like. And I'm trying to see if I can see Matt Rife. I'm assuming that's Matt Rife in bed with some chick on the back of the DVD cover. Let's just see what this is all about real quick. On October 31st, 2018, two preteens in a small town accidentally awaken an evil that has lain dormant for decades. They are forced to survive through a terrifying Halloween night of cat and mouse from the monster known as Bloody Bobby. And that does sound really interesting. And I guess this movie is from 2020. I don't know if I knew who Matt Rife was back in 2020. I think I found him in like 2023. I'm not sure. But anyway. All right, so I found a vintage Apple paperback by Catherine Rice, and it's called The Windows. And look at how much they charged me. $3 for a vintage Apple paperback, okay? That is insane, and it's because the girl that was working there, oh my God, like, I don't know what, listen, I don't want to be that middle-aged guy that, you know, craps on the young people. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm telling you, there's something going on with the young adults. There's something going on with the youth. It's like anytime I go somewhere, if I need help, if I need customer service, I don't want it to be a young person. Okay, I don't, because there's something like they're not present, they're not mentally there. They never make eye contact, they don't acknowledge you, and when you get their attention, it's like they're dead inside. And that was the case for this one young girl, and like she was stalking the aisles while I was browsing for books, and she never made eye contact with me, never acknowledged me, and like when she was pushing her stock cart past me, she never said excuse me, or you know, to get my attention so I could like step closer to the shelf to give her room to push her cart or anything. Then when I was ready to check out, she was over there helping people check out, except you scan things yourself. And when I got to this book, I said, "Ma'am, there's no sticker on this one." And so what usually happens and that happens quite a bit, but what the employees at that store usually do is they'll get me a sticker that says 149, and she comes back with this sticker on it, 299. And I was just like, you little something head. And I ended up changing my mind on two things at the last second while I was in line. And what I usually do is I go put those things back myself. I try not to make an employee pick up after me, but in this case, I walk up to her and I hand them to her and I go, "Excuse me, ma'am, I changed my mind on these. I don't want them anymore, so I didn't pay for them." And then she looked at me and then I just stuck it out, and then she reactively like grabbed it, like, because I was so like assertive. And then she gave me an okay, uh, like a little bit of attitude, and I was like, okay, now I feel better. Now I feel better. All right. Well, anyway, sorry. I was venting. I needed to get that story off my chest. Okay. So the author is Catherine Reese and Rice. I don't know. Okay. And this is called Time Windows. And the tagline on the front reads, "A dollhouse, a ghost, a secret." Now look at that cover. So you have kind of a young lady looking at a vintage dollhouse, and then you see a ghost girl, and it looks like they're in an attic. Yeah, they're in an attic. All right, so let's read this synopsis on the back. A warning. There is something very strange about Miranda's new house. It is very dark and very eerie. Miranda doesn't believe in haunted houses. She doesn't believe in ghosts. But what about the old dollhouse that she discovers in the attic? And the strange little girl who only appears when Miranda looks through the dollhouse windows? Maybe the little girl is really a ghost, and maybe she's trying to tell Miranda something, something that may save her life. All right, and that sounds interesting. Actually, it really does. I feel like that could definitely be a good old school April read. I think it definitely conforms to some of the prompts. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and set that here. All right, and this was an exciting find for me too, because I always enjoy finding a Carol Beach York book, and I thought I had most of them, but I didn't. And this one is a Cat's Eye mystery. Wait, is this part of a series? I hope this isn't part of a series. I don't see. Okay. Other Cat's Eye mysteries you will enjoy. Okay, so there's a Joan Lowry Nixon, a Phyllis A. Whitney, a Mary Anderson. All right, so no, I don't think that this is part of a series. Okay, that's cool. But just for fun, let's see what year this came out. 1972. And huh, okay. All right. Well, anyway, that's what the cover looks like. Well, here's the synopsis on the back. Someone's trying to frighten Janie's Aunt Sissy. They've been sending her threatening letters, and now she's afraid to stay at Darkwood alone. Who could bait the kindly old woman so much? Janie wonders. Soon after Janie arrives at Darkwood, the house is broken into. When the police fail to turn up any suspects, Janie decides to investigate on her own. She is not going to let anyone scare Aunt Sissy out of her lovely old home. With some clever detective work, Janie finds the answer to the mystery stored away in the dusty, cluttered cellar of Darkwood. All right, that sounds pretty good. Okay, so this was exciting. I found another Shivers book by M.D. Spencer, and this one is called The Ghosts of Devil's Marsh, and it's book number 24 in the series. I did not have this one. This book is in a very good condition. The corner on the front of the cover is a little bent, but to me that's pretty negligible. It's otherwise in excellent condition, good healthy spine holding onto all the pages. I don't see a tagline on the front, so let me go ahead and read the synopsis on the back. Big ghouls don't cry. Samantha should keep smiling. Otherwise, tears of fear might ruin her summer and probably her life. But the summer was already bad news. There she was on the coast with her cousins, boy cousins, always around, acting like, well, boys. But cousins can be cool, especially when you might need them to save your life. Is that cozy coastal island they're on really haunted? Could be. That might explain all those strange things Samantha sees and hears. It gets stranger and stranger when Samantha discovers the shocking truth behind the terror. Will all the cousins stay safe and sound, or is it the beginning of the end for everyone? Listen for the voice of doom. That sounds pretty good. And I just want to see what year this one came out. This one came out in 1996. All right, so that was exciting. Okay, this was exciting too because I've never known about this book, but it's by Betty Wren Wright. And I did read the synopsis on the back at the thrift store because I was like, oh my gosh, another Betty Wren Wright. I've never heard of this one, and it's a vintage Apple paperback. And so I read the synopsis, and it doesn't sound like it's a horror book, but it does sound good. So here's this tagline on the front. If someone took away your best friend, what would you do? And here's the synopsis on the back. Oh, this was Betty Wren Wright's first novel. Wow. Okay. So here's the synopsis. When 11-year-old Emily Parker's grandfather goes away on vacation, she really misses her visits with him at his old farmhouse. Everything they do together seems special, hiking in the woods, playing games, or just being friends. In fact, Emily feels that he's her best friend and can't wait for him to come home. But when he does, he brings a new wife, Marjorie, with him. Emily hates her on sight. She's from the city, definitely doesn't fit into life in the country. She wears high heels when she hikes in the woods, and she isn't anything like Emily's real grandmother was. Emily simply can't believe that her grandfather has married Marjorie. Obviously, there's only one solution. Emily has to get rid of Marjorie, no matter what. And that sounds interesting. This book has never been read. The pages have kind of yellowed and browned, but this book has never been opened. This is from 1981. And it's definitely not a first print because on the back, it says by the author of Dollhouse, but there's also a blurb from Publishers Weekly that says, readers will hope that Wright's first novel won't be her last. So I'm taking that as this was her first novel and this is a reprint. All right. This was a really exciting find for me. I found this today. It's a Tor Kids book, and it's The Outer Limits, The Vanished by John Peel. Okay, this is really cool. I'm very excited about this one. And they charged me $2.50 for this. Books at Savers are starting to go up in price. It used to be that they would only charge you like, $1.99 tops for kids books. But now they're today I go in there and it's like, wow, they're $2.50 now. And I'm sorry, it's just this. I just want to get rid of the sticker on this one. Bear with me for a sec. I'm sorry. All right. Got rid of this blasted thing. All right. Yeah, so look at that. All right, now, no tagline on the front, so let's read the synopsis on the back. Do not attempt to adjust your brain. The Outer Limits. Where is everybody? The alarm clock goes off. You wake up and get ready for school, just like every other day. So what's the big deal? Well, what if one morning you suddenly discovered that you were one of the last surviving people on Earth? That's right. Everyone else has disappeared. No idea how, no idea why, just gone, vanished. This has come true for a small group of teenagers who have just awakened to their worst nightmare. But it gets worse. Someone or something is hunting them down. For my fellow Christopher Pike fans, may I ask you, what book does the plot of this sound reminiscent of? Okay, spoiler alert. Whisper of Death. Okay, this sounds like Whisper of Death by Christopher Pike. Okay, so then I already have this book and I've shown it off in another book haul before, but this one is called Howl High, and it's basically like Teen Wolf or something. Well, I found this one and it's a little bit more beat up, so I said, well, if I ever get around to reading it, I guess I have a reading copy. All right, then I found this, okay, and this is another Bill Wallace book, Journey into Terror. And I have a few of Bill Wallace's book. I think that the his most famous one is a YA novel called Trapped in Death Cave or something. And I have a few copies of that book. I have one in hardback. I have a beat up paperback that was supposed to be meant to be a reading copy. Then I have like a mint condition paperback. Well, anyway, let's read the. I can't read the tagline on the front of this one because the thrift store sticker is covering it, and I don't want to waste a lot of time peeling thrift store stickers off in this video. So let's just read the synopsis on the back. Run for your life. Without thinking, Samuel Ross photographed two Learjets at the White Plains Airport before taking off for Oklahoma to see his father and his new family. He was just trying out his camera. He barely noticed the angry looking man who tried to stop him from taking the shot, then ran after him as he boarded the plane. Samuel's mind was on his father and the new family that awaited him out west. Nothing could have prepared him for his hick stepbrother Gary, or one of the rustic house in the or for the rustic house in the backwoods of Oklahoma. Then someone called, telling them that Samuel had won a prize in a photography contest back east. Samuel thought it was a mistake until four thugs appeared at the door, ready to kill for a roll of film. That sounds kind of intense. Yeah, it sounds pretty good. All right. So this one was super exciting because I didn't have it, but this is a vintage Apple paperback called A Cry in the Night by Carol Ellis. So my fellow Point Horror fans recognize that name. And this is what the cover looks like. I think that is a pretty good looking cover. You got that like ghost Amish girl in the background. I think she looks Amish. And the tagline on the front reads, "If it isn't a dream, then what is it?" And let's read this synopsis. When she looked again, the ghostly girl was gone. Molly Bishop has a lively imagination, and a family vacation at an old house in a restored colonial village seems like the perfect time to use it. But Molly soon discovers that there is something frightening going on that she is not imagining. She sees a ghostly young girl wandering the town, disappearing and reappearing unexpectedly, awakening Molly in the middle of the night with her desperate cries of "Mother." But only Molly can see or hear her. Who is she, and what does she want from Molly? Seeking to help the girl, Molly delves into the history of the village and uncovers a dark secret that has been hidden for nearly 300 years. When she finds herself the target of an evil spirit, she realizes that someone wants the secret to remain hidden. That sounds excellent. Okay, this is going to be a collector's copy, but I need a beat up reading copy because I want to read this one. Okay, this sounds good. All right. Then this is a repeat. This one's a little bit more beat up. I have one in mint condition and it's called Fifth Grade Magic. And hang on. I don't remember what the plot of this was reminiscent of, but the plot is like it's like a retelling of like an older, more famous work. I did want to read it, but now I have a beat up reading copy, so maybe I'll get around to it soon. All right, this was exciting because I'm always looking to pick up another copy of Graveyard School, and this time I found book number 4, Little Pet Werewolf by Tom B. Stone. Right, and let's just read the synopsis. Okay, I thought this was in mint condition, and then some little snot drew in it. For what reason? Okay, here's the synopsis on the back. Graveyard School's pet day is a real howl. It's pet day at Graveyard School, and everyone is excited. Everyone except Skip Wolfson, that is. Every year it's the same thing. Skip brings in his dog just to be ridiculed. While everyone else's pets are exotic and brilliant, Skip's dog is just a lazy mutt that can't do any tricks. Skip wishes he could bring in some kind of really cool pet, like a werewolf. He's in for the shock of his life when he doesn't have to search too far for one. Interesting. All right. And then I needed this one. I don't have like a vintage printing, and I'm not sure if some boy named Rudy wrote his name in it. I don't believe that this is a first printing, but I did need a vintage printing, and now I have one. And I didn't have this one as a child either, so the tagline on the front, it's a field of screams. Good looking cover though. All right. Synopsis on the back. They're alive. Jody loves visiting her grandparents' farm. Okay, so it's not the most exciting place in the world. Still, Grandpa tells great scary stories, and Grandma's chocolate chip pancakes are the best. But this summer, the farm has really changed. The cornfields are sparse, Grandma and Grandpa seem worn out, and the single scarecrow has been replaced by 12 evil looking ones. Then one night, Jody sees something really odd. The scarecrows seem to be moving, twitching on their stakes, coming alive. Yep, so I'm glad that I have a vintage copy now, and it's in pretty good condition. So I'm definitely satisfied with calling that my collector's copy. All right, then I picked up another Daphne Benitez Grab book, and it's called I Know You Started It. And I do want to read the synopsis on the back after I have another sippy of a little something something. Okay. So here's the synopsis on the back. If you play with fire, you might get burned. There was a fire in the middle school. Was it an accident? A prank gone wrong? Someone looking for revenge? The school administration is investigating, but evidence is scarce. It will take 4 students who can tap into the rumors, gossip, and hidden secrets of their school to uncover what really happened on the day of the fire. Kate, Danny, Liam, and Gabe are determined to figure out who started the fire in the locker and why. And if they don't figure it out in time, well, one of them could be accused of the crime, but all their potential leads turn out to be dead ends. It's as if the arsonist is tracking their every move. Okay, so that's pretty cool. All right, then I found a copy of The Bailey School Kids Trolls Don't Ride Roller Coasters. Okay, so I was really excited that I found this one. I found another copy of Scared Stiff by Jonna and Malcolm. And this one is in like near mint condition. and I wasn't sure how it compared to the copy that I already have. So I went ahead and just picked it up. Then I found this one called Jungle Rama. It's a vintage apple paperback by Vicky Grove. And it sounds pretty cool. So the tagline on the front reads, "It's a secret hideout for a special summer." And the synopsis on the back reads, "Mystery, magic, members only. Best friends TJ, Mike, and Easy Jack know this summer is going to be perfect, especially when they find the abandoned carnival trailer with the Jungle Rama sign. They start fixing it up. They have big plans. But the summer plans go wrong when TJ's baby sister disappears. Where has she gone, and why? Is the answer part of the mystery of the Jungle Rama?" That sounds pretty good. All right. So this was exciting. I found another Daniel Cohen book. Okay, 18 spine-chilling stories from the great beyond. And he's written other books like Ghostly Terrors and Real Ghosts. I have a number of Daniel Cohen's books. And I just want to see what stories he's got. I'm not gonna like read the table of contents, but yeah, that was an exciting find. Okay, then I found two copies of A Ghost in the Window by Betty Renwright, and I did not have this book, so I'm gonna end up designating one of these as my reading copy and the other one as my collector's copy. But they're in pretty comparable condition, so I don't know how I'm going to do that. But anyway, the tagline on the front reads, "The ghost has a mystery for Meg to solve." And let's go ahead and look at that cover again. So the synopsis on the back reads, "Only the ghost knows the truth. Meg's dreams sometimes predict the future. This summer, her dreams are scary ones, nightmares she hopes will never come true. Sometimes she even sees a ghost in her dreams. He seems to be calling out for help. What does he want from Meg? Meg's not sure until she discovers a mystery that no one's ever solved. Could the ghost in her nightmares have something to do with the mystery? What is the secret the ghost wants her to find?" Oh, this is a sequel to The Secret Window, which I don't think I have. Okay. And this was a fun find. I may already have a copy. I think I already have a copy of it now that I think about it, but I went ahead and picked this up. And this one is called Cassie Brown Takes Witch Lessons by Anna Grossnickel Hines. Yeah, I bet you I already have a copy of this. Okay. So now I'm almost done with middle grade. But before I show you my next one, there's this book series, okay? And it started off with, book number 1, Scary Stories for Sleepovers. Okay, then it became More Scary Stories for Sleepovers. Okay, then even more scary stories for sleepovers. Okay, I know Cameron Chaney has like all of them. Okay, and then there's wait, did I just? Oh, then there's more super scary stories for sleepovers. Okay, and then super scary stories for sleepovers. Well, I found still more scary stories for sleepovers. So, yeah. So this was part of my haul, and I'm just adding it to the collection here. All right. So that's it for middle grade. I'm gonna move on to YA. My YA haul is very small though. Okay, so I found three books in the Bitten files. So I found book number three, number four, and number seven. So this one is called The Brain Worm by the Bitten Files by Thad L. Wolf. And I don't really feel like reading the synopsis on the back. I just bought it because I went on eBay to see if they were worth anything, and then I found one called E. Phil the Clown. And I remember, Cameron Chaney has a video called My Rarest YA Horror Novels, and that's how I found out about this. So then I got book number four, The Tomb Master, and then I got book number seven, Witch's Brew. Makes me thirsty. All right. So there's that. Then I found this one, and this one sounds really good. And it's the darndest thing because I was on the Bookubus's Instagram, and I saw that she had posted a photo of a Bentley Little book called The Summoning. And I thought I had all of Bentley Little's books, and I'd never heard of that one. Then I read her caption, and she talks about it being a vampire novel. And I was like, wait a minute, Bentley Little has a vampire novel? And I didn't know about it. So I ended up getting on eBay last night and buying it. And then I go to Savers today and I find this book. It's called Mary, the Summoning. So I guess I bought a book called The Summoning last night, and then I picked one up this afternoon. All right, so this is by an author named Hilary Monahan, and there's a ghastly face. I can't tell if it's a dog or a person. I think it might be a dog, but there's a candle burning, and that could either be candle wax or blood on the mirror. Neither way would surprise me. And here is the synopsis on the back. There is a right way and a wrong way to summon her. Jess had done the research. Success requires precision, a dark room, a mirror, a candle, salt, and four teenage girls. Each of them, Jess, Shauna, Kitty, and Anna, must link hands, follow the rules, and never let go. A thrilling fear spins around the room the first time Jess calls her name. Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. A ripple of terror follows when a shadowy silhouette emerges from the fog, a specter trapped behind the mirror. Once is not enough, though, at least not for Jess. Mary is called again and again, but when their summoning circle is broken, Bloody Mary slips through the glass with a taste for revenge on her lips. As the girls struggle to escape Mary's wrath, loyalties are questioned, friendships are torn apart, and lives are forever altered. A haunting trail of clues leads Shauna on a desperate search to uncover the legacy of Mary Worth. What she finds will change everything, but will it be enough to stop Mary and Jess before it's too late? To stop Mary and Jess. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, this sounds like a good book. Like I definitely got to read it. All right, so then I found this one by Joan Aiken, and it's called The Silence of Herondale. And that's what the cover looks like. I mean, this thing is vintage, and I don't think it's ever been opened. No, it hasn't. This book has never been opened. Wow, 1964. Oh, wait, this edition was published in 1973. February of 1973. I have a teammate who was born in October of 1973. This book is even older than him, and it's in mint condition. He's not. This one is. So there is a tagline on the front, and it reads, "She had come to Herondale to protect the child, but somewhere on the surrounding moors, a convicted murderer was just at large." Interesting. So here's the synopsis on the back. Herondale House. Empty fields and moors stretched away on all sides of the Herondale house. Deborah Lindsay knew that she must control her terror. There was her young charge to look after. But she knew that Herondale House held the terrible secret of one death. And how long would it be before evil struck again and she would be powerless to fight back? All right. Then this was nice. Okay, so I found another copy of The Cat Dogs and Other Tales of Horror, edited by A. Finnis. So this is a point horror novel, and I remember the first time I found this book at a local bookstore not too far from my apartment. I found it, realized it was a point horror book, made a book haul video, and I was like, oh, so happy, oh, so giddy. I was like, even Cameron Chaney doesn't have this one. But then I eventually went back and watched his point horror collection video, and he did. He beat me to the he beat me to this one by a long time, And I was like, even he doesn't have this one. He did. He did. So that's something that I've always kind of been embarrassed about, because I remember making that claim in my book haul video, and then after rewatching his, like, I was just embarrassed for being wrong. But now I have a reading copy, okay? Because the copy that I have is in mint condition, and there is a Diane Ho story in here. What's it called? Okay. The Diane Ho story is called The Piano. And then there's another point horror author, and gosh, I can't remember. The Rain Ghost. Okay, Gary Kilworth. He wrote the point horror novel The Rain Ghost. Well, he has a short story in here called The House That Jack Built. But yeah, here's my reading copy of The Cat Dogs. Okay. So then I found a hardback copy of Fear Street's Super Chiller Party Summer, and it only costed me $1. See the sticker? It says $1.99. The dude behind the register charged me one smacker, $1. All right, so yeah, this was super exciting. All right, well, considering the fact that this video is already long enough, I'm gonna go ahead and make a separate video for my adult horror. All right, but thank you guys for watching. Let me know if any of these books sounded cool to you, if you've read any of them, which one you would read first if you hauled this haul yourself. All right, well, thank you guys for watching. Horns up. Peace out.